Hey guys, welcome to our review of Kamen Rider Geo Episode 3. As always, I'm your host, Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have...
Cinder Blaze.
My dude, welcome back. In the process of doing all this, we lost to Michael, so he's a sleepy boy. He's going to sleep. But yeah, we watched this episode. It was a little underwhelming. I honestly had some fun with the Geo stuff, but once we got into like X8 territory again, a little more confusing.
Yeah.
And I just don't know that like a half hour is a good enough timetable to tell a compelling time travel story.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially since I wanted to do a lot of stuff in here, but they couldn't complete it, or they didn't have enough time to fully flesh it out because, like, the bridge connecting or it's not like a bridge connecting it. Like, the first part of the episode is just Geo's shenanigans with Gaze and Tsukiyomi, and then the whole X8 stuff was its own thing in a way. I mean, yeah, I guess like when he was hiding, he did find the gamer, so there's that. But like when they used that moment to connect to Emu and his whole universe type of thing, it didn't flow well. Like,
Yeah. And like I'm glad we sort of went back to those familiar areas and like sort of took in the scenery a bit in terms of like the X8 part, but there was like this like really dark filter over everything and it didn't really feel like X8
yeah,
per, per se, but I think that's like the point. Just because the timelines changed and then like what confuses me is that like last episode once build another build was defeated, build got his memories and stuff back. Here, did Emu just suddenly get his memories back and like suddenly come to the realization like, oh shoot, now I have to defeat them?
I have no idea. Like, honestly, all the Emu stuff is confusing enough, or it's just too confusing to sort out with the information we got this episode. And I'm just gonna
Yeah.
let them tell whatever story they want to do with it in the next episode.
Right. Yeah. Um I don't know. I just ultimately again like these seem to be like two-parters, and cuz like with Build it was very serialized. Here it's like I think it is serialized, but like also has that two-parter format. Like it's as if um like double. Like
Yeah.
each of the two halves of each episode sort of built up into something greater. I mean, it sort of did there, but here it feels like a little more like we're trying to get somewhere.
Yeah, like, except like in comparison to like Double, all of those two parts are kind of like self-contained in a way because we
Yeah.
kind of knew how everything worked. And
hmm
Geo, we're not allowed to know how everything works, at least not yet.
hmm
So it just kind of creates these gaps, so it's not as satisfying at the end.
My only question is, how long will it take this? Like, how long will their fan base stick with the sort of time travel frustration?
Like
You
they're gonna
know,
try to give us other things each episode and try to make us focus on that. Like,
right? But like this whole format is like two-parter, and I feel like the sort of climate now is serialized stuff. Make sure something progresses the plot each episode, and this kind of did with the Time Jackers. But I feel like there might not have been enough threads here to make that happen, like to
yeah,
make it too relevant. I don't know.
yeah,
Like two-parters are a bit of a mess for the first part, but weirdly, and I don't know if I will agree with this once it comes out of my mouth. Lupat this week and last sort of did it better in the
yeah,
way that like they sort of led into it a bit better. Like it was a bit more simple and streamlined. Like neither episode was great, but at least it did a good job of like hyping up the episode coming after it. And this just felt sort of blah.
Yeah, and like honestly, coming off of the last episode, I was really hyped for Amu. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
like the way he was kind of like introduced and stuff, I kind of miss the dude. It's been a
He
while.
felt cool for once.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we don't even get to see him until the final 2 minutes of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of mentioned it earlier, that whole drab setting of the hospital. I know you said it might have been on purpose, but it didn't feel like
Yeah.
like even when we went to Build's set, like they were still in the cafe. It was still bright and lively. I mean, they just finished the series, so it makes sense. But like it doesn't take much to turn on the lights in a hospital.
Yeah. And like the thing is, like, do you hear that?
No.
Okay. Well, like the thing with this in particular, yeah, juxtaposing it with Build and how bright and cheery it was, and juxtaposing this with X-Aid proper, it's really confusing. Like, where did this dark tone come from? And even if it is on purpose, like the whole point of, like, I hate to be that guy, but like the whole point of going back to seeing that location is to sort of relive some of those.
I don't think it was the same location. It definitely felt like a different set.
Well, yeah, but like that set's probably gone. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like it didn't feel quite right, and there are things you could, or like it wasn't as inviting, and maybe that was the point. But
and maybe
I
it was
don't know
probably
that I
because it
liked
just
it.
felt way too different from the original series. Like even like Brave, at least I like have him like eat some cake or some shit. Like it isn't.
Yeah.
It was not much depth to his character in the first place. Maybe a little poster that says "Be the best damn doctor in the world." It's like glued onto his forehead. Maybe something that would like service the fans a little bit. Like I know he had his whole like posse of doctors and like that whole shtick about him being that genius surgeon.
Yeah. Is it like, are we the assholes that are like, oh hey, not enough fan service, bad? Like it's weird. And I'm not even like, I didn't even like X8. I'm not nostalgic for any of it, but I kind of wanted to like see it all sort of come back,
Yeah, like there's still some stuff that we liked about this series.
Yeah.
Why can't you just show it off? Like even for Brave.
You know what? For a series that advertises that, hey, we're going back to these locations and not giving it to us, I feel like that's the disconnect. Because like the whole thing with Decade is that, oh hey, we're gonna see other riders, but oh no, we're not actually going to see the other riders again. And then this series is like, okay, we're going back in time, or we're gonna go travel the other riders, but we are actually gonna see them this time. Like it's the same thing Decade did with alternate realities, but with the original actors. Yeah. Like I feel like we're getting a reskinned Decade setup.
Yeah. Which kind of sucks too, because like I feel like they put in a lot of effort for this series in particular that I don't really want to see it to kind of like fall flat like that. Just this guy's supposed to be like the king of all the Kamen writers from this generation. So like
I don't know.
Okay, I think we're just like complaining.
Well, no, I'm still trying to sort out how I feel about this.
Because like,
huh?
What do you think about Gaze this episode? Because I feel like overall, like he was a real problem character for me, and he was one of the focal points of this episode. He was like one of the sympathetic figures about like, oh, he hates his guts, but he's helping anyway. Oh, so sweet.
Like,
he's not a human being. Like, who the fuck acts like that?
Right, like these characters aren't being written as characters, and I feel like that's a big disconnect as well.
Yeah,
like you don't have the people there to anchor, like the actual characters, the people you want to see each week to anchor you to these sort of outrageous stories. Like you're just sort of there along for the ride, hoping you'll catch a glimpse of something you loved before,
Yeah.
you know? And they even brought back the whole king stuff, like, hey, I'll make you my lead technician or whatever the hell when I'm a king. Like, I can't relate to the
Easy
guy.
now, Simba.
Huh?
Easy now, Simba.
Yeah,
And King. It's weird.
I don't know.
Like I actually did like the uncle character this episode because the way he was actually interacting with Tokyo. Like
Uh,
he was actually like treating him like his nephew. Like when he's like stumbling around, I was like, oh, we're dancing already.
yeah,
you know,
well, no, see,
like
like the the thing I have about that is like, why aren't you on his case at all about trying to find an actual career? I don't know. Maybe I'm just projecting.
yeah.
Jesus.
Don't make this too.
I just made this sad. Guys, I think that's about it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. But hey, what I do want to talk about are our fabulous shirts and our awesome friend Dawson, who bought 2 of our Gentoku translated shirts, and Aerosol for buying our shirts as well. So the links to those are in the description down below. So Bold and Approachable seem to be the best sellers so far because they're the only ones that have like sold. So keep your eyes out for those. Those are still happening. I don't know if we'll be making more anytime soon, but hey, every single Gentoku translated shirt that we've seen from the show, not the movies or anything, is up for sale, translated, and ready for your consumption. Guys, thanks for watching. Keep it juicy.
See you.
I said consumption as if you were about to eat the shirt.
Yeah, you can eat the shirt.
That's true. Then you'd have to buy more.
I mean, I'm not sure if it's edible. I'm
Yeah.
sure it is, but
There was a sale for all the shirts this weekend. I probably should have bought